Now, when you look at Matthew 18, it gives you the purpose of what Yahushua, who they ignorantly called Jesus Christ, because his name wasn't Jesus. He had a Hebrew name. And then when you look through the proper nouns or proper names, names don't change if you're being genuine and honest, unless you're just trying to hide somebody's name or change somebody's name for devilish reasons. So names don't change. His name was Yahushua. Now, he said in verse 11, he said, "For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost." Verse 12, "How think ye, if a man have 100 sheep, and one of them be gone astray, do he not leave the 99 and go into the mountains and seek that which is gone astray?" You see, he's talking about somebody that went astray. They was once with the group of sheeps, but they went astray. So who went astray and who was lost? See, who went astray from their nationality? Who went astray from the Israelites? It says, "And if so be that he find it, verily I say unto you, he rejoiced more than that sheep than of the 99 which went not astray." Verse 14, "Even so, it is not the will of your Father which is in heaven that one of these little ones shall perish." So these little ones that went astray, either from the sheepfold or from their nationality, which was caused them to be lost. So we're going to go into this situation because only one group of people went astray and was lost. So let's go into this. This is pretty much bringing out Bibbens, ABBA Bibbens. ABBA Bibbens was the one who started the awakening of his peoples, because he wrote a book around about the 1950s talking about marks of a lost race. See, he addressed the issue of the people that was lost, because that's who Yahushua was looking for, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And so ABBA Bibbens, he wrote a book and started gaining disciples. Now let's get the first line of this book. It says, trying to get it in the middle on my screen here. It says, "Our purpose in this book serves is to serve as personal guide to 45 million people in America and the British West Indies called Negroes. Consequently, there are innumerable facts which should be definitely recognized by those of our people who would make use of the following pages. Things that have happened to a people are facts which furnishes a representation of a people and is different from that furnished by any other kind of illustration that we may try to gather. The so-called Negro has been reading all sorts of books on himself, written by the white man, who is his enemy, and has caused him to be a lost nation through the lies he has published about us. See, I could stop the video right there, and that tells the whole story. See, that's what our peoples don't want to come to the realization of. You can bring out Dr. Umar Johnson, you can bring out Tariq Nasheed, you can bring out all these individuals that want to bring out truth and talk about they trying to help our people, but they don't want to recognize the ultimate fact that we have an enemy that was beating our backs in, and he is not to be trusted, and he has been caught numerous times telling a bold-faced lie. What they call it? Gaslighting. He is the master of gaslighting. You can see the situation. Not Salaki, these dragons always been gaslighting and being caught in bold-faced lies. And so, let me get into this book even further. He says, we want the things in this book which we have written to serve as two windows through which we look, standing out at large, as the original object would appear to our eyes. So would we have these things appear to your eyes of understanding. Remarkable as these statements will be when thoughtfully considered, they are absolutely true and can only be found explained in a large scale in the book called the Bible. Of course, there are a few books that explain little of our people. The Bible gives us our race, our language, and all of our history. It is the only history of our people prior to the 1600s. Because, see, what these individuals want to do is they want to say the Bible is a fairy tale book and not a history book, because first of all, the Lord blinded they behind. Second of all, they don't want to realize that those people was taking history of the world in Israel. That just was their history book. They was taking records of what was going on in the world, man. They was not writing fantasies. They was saying what was going on in the world with the Greeks, the Romans, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Egyptians, these major nations in the world. They was writing down history, what was going on, and they was saying telling us what they was going through. While all this was going on, they were saying this is what we was going through when the Babylonians was ruling. We was in slavery to the Babylonians. They took us in slavery, and they wrote all of the things that was happening. They wrote even how many people went into slavery. Let's tap that real quick. Now in Esdras, the second chapter. This the Esdras in the Bible in the 66 books. It says, now these are the children of the providence that went up out of the captivity. So during the Babylonian Empire, the Lord allowed the Babylonians to come and put them in a captivity because they was going off, following other gods and just being straight up disobedient. So they carried, he said, of those which had been carried away, whom Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon had carried away unto Babylon, and came again unto Jerusalem and Judah, every one unto his city. Now, Nebuchadnezzar is a certified king. Nobody say he didn't exist. It's evidence that he existed in Babylon. The empire existed. So it's not no stupid fairy tale. And they went into slavery. It named the children of each family. The children of Parash, 2,172. And it goes on to the number these families that went into slavery, hundreds of people. Family heads that had hundreds of people in it, man. Went into slavery to Babylon. And the Persian king, when he took over, he allowed them to go back to Jerusalem. So they was counting all the people that was in Babylon and that was coming out of Babylon. See, this is certified history and certified fact. Our people was keeping records of what happened. So that's all that is. Ain't no fairy tale that's being told. These empires existed and these records was accurate. Nobody have proven these records and these testimonies to be lies. That's just a bunch of atheists and homosexuals trying to prove something so they can not feel bad when they go to sleep at night. Now let's get back to ABBA Bibbens' book. Okay, it says the Bible give us our race and our language and all our history. See, we've been going into slavery many times. This is not the only time we went into slavery from the west coast of Africa. It says, and being true, it is easily seen that it is of real importance to our people, first of all, that we recognize clearly and finally that things which are written in these books, which we have to do to be recognized as a nation. History and other books written about our people are less accurate, see, and not at all servable to us. See, they ain't serving us no good purpose. These other books is not trustworthy. You can debunk them real easy. It's just some willy-nilly dude that done popped up out of nowhere and want to tell somebody what happened. When the Bible is certified, and King James made sure it was going to be certified, and it's so certified it killed all the other gods. All the gods that was in the world was destroyed by this group of people. See, and they records made all these other gods go into the background. See, they had to hide these other gods and keep this god on the in the front street. Now it says, history and other books written about our people are less accurate and not at all servable to us, seeing that the world in great pain, the so-called black man must not think that he can save a fallen nation by giving his service, because he go into the next. Now let me see how I'm gonna flip this thing. That was 5. Okay, I'm gonna do another video and start from the next page and break down what ABBA Bibbens would break down, since he was the beginning of this truth. He started this truth. He was the Elijah that was bringing the hearts of his people back to their original identity. It's all started for him. Whatever teacher you got, they learned from him. But I'm going to leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.